President Clinton, how will you stop pollution in the United States?
Just like that.
Well, it's not quite that simple because, you know, we make pollution every day, Ian. When we drive our cars, we make pollution. When we run our factories, we make pollution. But there are 2 or 3 things we can do. Let me just mention them. Number one, we have a Clean Air Act in the United States designed to reduce the amount of pollution that goes into the air in the first place. I want to enforce that. Number two, I want to support clean water. We put a lot of stuff in our water. I want to reduce that. Number three, I want to try to do things that will help preserve the quality of the environment in the first place, like planting more trees and reforesting the land and building up the soil of the United States. I think we want to clean up the things that are being polluted, but we want to stop things from being polluted as much as possible. And then finally, I'm trying to promote more energy conservation and cleaner energy, like natural gas, for example, is the cleanest form of energy that we can burn. So I'm trying to promote the use of natural gas. Those are the things that I think we should do in the beginning.
I don't think anybody in the East Room, Mr. President, feels as strongly about that as Purnell does. And I know he has a question to ask you, but before you ask your question, Purnell, let's show the President a little bit about where you live.
It's not a pretty sight. Just to use your 5 senses on the environment outside, it's terrible. The air pollution, water pollution, and ground pollution makes me feel worried. My brother Charlie, right after he finished his 4th grade year, we had discovered a very rare brain tumor. The experts never could find out what the cause was. But the only thing we never really checked on was the environment. So there's a very good possibility that pollution could have caused that. All of the rest of the cancer victims in my family are still going through some suffering because of cancer. We don't really know what it's from. We suspect it to be the environment. Mr. President, I want to solve this problem.
Purnell comes from Garyville, Louisiana, and it's about a 100-mile strip between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, right, Purnell? Where there are about 100 petrochemical plants.
Yes, I live, Garyville, the small town that I live in, is right between the chemical corridor, which is the area between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. And, Mr. President, I'd like to ask if restrictions can be put on the amount of carelessly handled hazardous waste and air pollution such as smoke, and you know, if the healthcare system can get into this somewhat and help the cancer victims, which this cancer may have resulted from any of this environmental contamination.
Why don't you tell these folks how many relatives in your family have had cancer?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I know my 10-year-old brother died of something that even the experts across the country came over to Children's Hospital in New Orleans to look at this. They could not. They were just stumped. My brother Charlie was either the 10th or the 11th person in recorded history ever to catch this. And through all the other patients that caught this, the experts could never figure it out. And they checked into just about every condition that could have caused it, with the exception of the environment.
Well, you know,
like
let me say,
problem.
This young man lives in Louisiana, which is just to the south of my home state of Arkansas, so I know quite a bit about where you live, and I've been in that alley between Baton Rouge and New Orleans many, many times. The cancer rate there is way above the national average. And I think there are 2 things we should be doing. One is we should be doing a lot more medical research to try to find out what causes these cancers. And the second thing we ought to be doing is to invest more money there to do environmental cleanup. In the election campaign that I went through to be elected president, I said many times that I thought we ought to take some of the money that we're reducing the defense budget by and putting it into cleaning up the environment here at home. Because I think there are now all kinds of health hazards that we never knew about before that we're now learning about of some of the things we've done. And we need to do a lot of environmental cleanup in that part of Louisiana where you live and throughout the country. And I'm going to do my best to do it.
It's interesting, sir, that a lot of people were playing the budget game earlier, helping how to spend your money for you, and an awful lot of kids, both last night and tonight, all of them putting their money into cleaning up the environment.
Now, how many of you think we should spend more money on the environment, cleaning it up?
We've only got one planet. If we don't preserve it, there's no other place we can go to. And, everyone from my area and the surrounding areas, most of them voted for you. We all believe very strongly that you, as an individual, do have the know-how and the courage to go about and tackle this problem and many others. And we do have faith in you.
We'll do it for your brother, okay?
We'll be back in just a moment.